What's going on, dudes? Mr. X and John again, the real Venom, and welcome to my top 10 favorite items from the Binding of Isaac. Now, a couple of disclaimers before I do start the video. This is my opinion. This is not the fact. So don't go into the comments saying, oh, you got that item wrong, or oh, you didn't like that item. This is my opinion and what I like. A couple of these items I know can be very, controversial at times. However, these are the items that I found which have saved me from losing runs, saved me from, saved me from completely failing. Another disclaimer I'll say is this run is not going to be, this list is not going to be like every other list. So we're not going to have items like Brimstone, the Dr. Fetus, Nepis Fetus items, Death Touch, Mutant Spider, Infamy, Holy Mantle, Crown of Light, any Guppy items, Goat Head, or Magic Mushroom. Because that would just be a top 10 right there. Those are like the OP items that everyone says are their favorite. This is going to cover the items that I don't use that often, but when I do use them, I love them. They're amazing. Or items which you rarely get, which can have an amazing effect. So without further ado, let's get started. So number 10 goes to a very simple item known as Humbling Bundle. Doesn't seem like a lot that I would put at number 10. However, this item can give doubles of bombs, keys, pennies, and hearts when you end a room. For example, I didn't get any drops here, but if I go into the next room and get a drop from these enemies, I may get like a double key or a double bomb or a double heart or a 2 pennies. Now, 2 pennies may not seem like a lot, but imagine if you go into a room and find the key. That's 2 keys that you can use to get into the item shop and get into, oh, there we go, double bombs. That's a good example. So that's 2 bombs in one, which you can get with BOGO bombs, but it works for keys, pennies, and hearts, which is a very, very helpful item. So that's why I've put that one at number 10. Even though it doesn't seem like a lot of help, getting it very early on can get the resources you need for the later floors, as the resources dwindle and you don't have as many keys to open doors. So that's my number 10. Number 9 on my list goes to the Ludovico technique. In this footage, I'm using it with the Parasite to demonstrate why I really like it. So what the Ludovico technique does, it replaces your normal tiers with a one controllable tier, which you can control in the entire room. If you get items which increase your tier's stat, it means it ticks faster. And if you get an item which increases the shot speed, it means it travels faster. Pretty simple concept. But with the Parasite, if I can get it, I'll get to a room with a bunch of enemies to demonstrate why I really, really like the Ludovico technique. See, as I hover over them, now every tick is just firing extra shots. Little safety pin, push pin, piercing shots, lovely. Watch as I beat Larry Jr. by just hovering over him. All these spray shots are doing damage. Very quickly, you go from having one shot, which is doing some tick damage, to a spray of bullets covering the entire area. I mean, that's got to be powerful, right? It can completely annihilate enemies and can win runs, and I've used this to beat a couple of runs, in fact. So that's why I put Ludovico technique in my number 9. So number 8 on my list goes to the Dog Tooth. Quite a simple item as well. Whenever you're near an item, if you just heard that, the howl just then indicates that I'm near a secret room, as you can see here. Now this item is a simple item in concept that if you hear barking, it means you're near a crawl space. Because crawl spaces are rare, they have amazing items in them. If you manage to find yourself a crawl space, you can get, as I said, amazing items out of it. You can get items, you can get a secret shop, you can get all sorts of items that you want from these secret rooms. And so all it takes is the howl or the bark to recognize that you're there. But as well as that, it gives a damage and a speed up, meaning you're getting stats from it and you can find secret rooms. I mean, that's an amazing effect when you're on an early floor and you can't locate the rooms. Or if you're new to finding secret rooms and you don't know how to locate them, it's a very easy way to find it, and then you can learn the patterns over time. But that's why I gave number 8 the Dog Tooth. So number 7 on my list is actually a tie between 2 items. This one I'm showing off is the first of the 2, which is $3 bill. Now $3 bill, every so often it will change shots. As you can see there, now I'm doing the number 1 shots. As you see now, I've got homing shots again. I had homing and double earlier. It changes your shots every couple of shots, so you can have different effects. I'm also given the tie to Missing No, which has the same effect, except it's per floor. So you can get different items from floor to floor. It re-rolls everything. So one floor you could have really bad items and struggle to beat the boss. The next one you could have the amazing god tier items all in one. and it pulls from every single random item pool. So you can get yourself amazing combos without doing much effort. But I found that $3 bill has actually saved me on runs before. On later floors, if you don't have the effects that you're looking for, you just shoot a couple of shots with a $3 bill. Oh look, you got the next effect. Which is an amazing thing, considering that all it takes is for you to shoot to change it. But that's why I give NumberSeven the $7 bill. And Missing No, both combined. Number 6 on my list goes to Head of the Keeper. It's an interesting item that came out in Afterbirth Plus, which is penny tiers. Now, you might see that this is cool that I'm shooting that. These little golden, coins. But, as I'm dealing damage to them, I'm dropping coins. Now, if you get this early on and get your luck stat up, you can get a lot of coins really early, meaning you can buy stuff from the shop and get shop pool exclusive items. It's always good to have coins handy, and so having coin tiers come out is really, really good. Now, this effect doesn't always work with brimstone and things like that. However, if you keep your tiers relatively normal and add things like quad shot, soy milk, and other high tier increasing items, as in high tier rate, you can get yourself a lot of coins very quickly and get yourself item room items, shop items. That's why I give number 6 the Head of the Keeper. At number 5, I give the one, the only, Explosivo. Now, Explosivo, once again, really cool item. If you notice the flyer shot there with the black dot, now that it's getting larger, Explosivo has sticky bomb shots. Now, what the sticky bombs do, when they attach to enemies, the damage of these tiers is the current tier damage, which, as you can see here, is 3.5, and then add 60 damage. That is more than a black heart being destroyed, like a black soul heart. That's amazing, considering that you can fire out multiples of these if you get your luck stat up. And it's more reoccurring than black heart. So Explosivo, if you get your luck stat up, you can have amazing effects and you can destroy huge bosses very easily. That's why I give number 5 to Explosivo. So number 4 goes to another one of my favorite items, the Tarot Cloth. There we go, we'll pull in the Hierophant as an example. So the Tarot Cloth doubles the effect of certain tarot cards and items. Notice how the Hierophant usually gives 2 prayers for the lost. Using the Tarot Cloth, it gives 4. Now this works for 4 soul hearts from the Hierophant, 4 hearts for the lovers, 2 bombs, 2 keys, 2 coins, and 2 hearts for justice. And using the 2 of cards, like 2 of hearts, 2 of clubs, 2 of spades, and Yera, it quadruples the items that you're using it with. So if you have a room full of coins and bombs and that, and you use Yera, it multiplies all the items by 4. You can get a lot of items really quickly from this. And it's amazing, honestly. Getting the Tarot Cloth early, once again, like the Humbling Bundle, can give you a lot of items really quickly. So that's why I give number 4 the Tarot Cloth. The number 3 on my list goes to a very simple item known as Placenta. Now, Placenta seems like a weird choice, like Venom. Why would you pick an item that just gives you HP up? For, come on. Why, Jono? Why? For a very simple reason. This not only gives you health up, but it gives you regen over time. Now, regen is an amazing, amazing thing when you're down to 1 heart of health. Because if you're on half a heart, and you don't take a hit, you regen that half a heart. And that's a really good thing. It saved me on so many runs, once again. I've had runs where I've been on half a heart, and I've just entered a room, and it would recharge me back up to a full heart, and I'd been able to survive the room. Which is amazing. Placenta, simple effect, but you got to give it to it. Number 3 has to go to Placenta. Now, coming to the end of the list, number 2 is Toxic Shock. Now, you might think, Toxic Shock, hang on, why would you do this one as well? So, Toxic Shock is a very simple item that when you enter a room, it deals double your current tier damage to enemies in the room in a shock. It stuns the entire room and poisons them. Enemies that die while it's in effect get green creep left under them. Green creep is the poisonous creep. It's pretty good. So what you can do is you can get yourself a really, really high attack number. Actually, let me do that quickly. So if I go give item the Pact, for example, the Pact C gives that. So let me give myself a bunch of the Pact, just so I have my HP up, just to demonstrate how powerful this truly is. As you saw, I killed a room of flies pretty quickly. I walk into this room, dead. Yes, the flies aren't dead, but the initial enemies when you enter the room are all dead. All dead. Like, lightning quick. It's ridiculous how quickly these enemies are dying. I walk into a room with enemies, and they no longer exist. That is why I'm giving number 2 to Toxic Shock. Just because it can get very powerful very quick. And now for 3 honorable mentions which I have here. Angelic Prism, Tammy's Head, and Brimstone. Now, Angelic Prism, usually you get one of these triangles. Just to demonstrate what it actually does, I'm using multiple. Pretty much, if you shoot one, it splits your beam into 4 normal beams. Which sounds reasonable enough. It can be useful with tears. In fact, if I remove Brimstone, you can use it with normal tears, and it splits into 4 normal tears. However, people usually use it, as you can see, I've added a lot of angelics. Hang on, let me just spawn in Brimstone again. As you can see, Brimstone is the big splitter. Like, you split it into 4 colourful beams of light. That's what Angelic Prism does. Now, Tammy's Head, every room you get a tear burst. Now, Tammy's Head is commonly used with Brimstone, and the reason I'm putting Brimstone as an honorable mention is because Brimstone is an OP item that most runs are amazing with. However, I did say I would not put it on my main list, even though it's my actual favourite item. Like, so many synergies, it's ridiculous. Including Ludo. But just to demonstrate what Tammy's Head's capable of, I walk into a room, use that burst. There is no more enemies, and I got my charge back up. There are no more enemies, I got my charge back up. Just from doing that. Just from doing that. That's all. I just press the spacebar, walk into a room, and enemies die. I need to charge my tool up quickly, so let me just spray some enemies. Walk into a room, and everyone's dead. Walk into a room, and everyone's dead. I don't even need these angelic prisms, so remove angelic. I need to do it a couple more times. As you can see, I'm deleting them back here. Remove the angelic prism just to demonstrate what Tammy's Head actually does. That's still really powerful. That's an 8-way that decimates everything in the room. That's why Tammy's Head was an honorable mention, because it's way too powerful. But I'm not putting powerful items on this list. So those are my honorable mentions. As you can see, shreds through bosses like it's nobody's business. That's why I give these items the honorable mention. And now for my number 1 item, which is a tie. So your number 1 item, my number 1 item in fact, the one item I prefer above every other item, above Brimstone, above, well not actually above Brimstone, but Brimstone is my favourite item, but you know what I mean. Above Tammy's Head, above Angelic Prism, above Toxic Shock is, as you can see here and here, I've got to change that, Spoonbender. Now, this seems really anticlimactic. Oh, sorry about that, but hear me out. Spoonbender is homing tears. As you can see, I fire near them, they curve into them. The ultimate version of this, which I'll give myself right now, is Godhead. But I did promise, same idea, there is a homing tears. And there is an aura around them which is powerful. However, because I said I would not put Godhead on this list because it's a god item, like it's amazing, I'm putting that with Spoonbender. They're both homing tears, and if you put them with Brimstone, oh, wow, you do not want to know what that looks like. Hang on, let's give Brimstone quickly. Most people would know what these two look like. Remove Godhead. So just Spoonbender and Brimstone. Walk into a room, bang. Purple fucking tears. Need I say more? It's a tear that bends to wherever. Going into the boss room, I can just walk away and just fire a shot towards him. Oh look, it's bending into him. He's receiving pretty consistent damage just from me being out the way. Which is pretty phenomenal if you ask me. I mean, yes, I don't have the damage output yet, but if you're on a run where you get these items very late into the run, it can be amazing heading into the final floor. So, thank you guys so much for watching. These are my top 10 items of Binding of Isaac up to Afterbirth Plus. Like, favorite, subscribe for more. My links in the description if you want to trade or play some family-friendly CSGO, and links in the description to all my social media. So thank you guys so much for watching, and just remember to stay classy, San Diego. Peace.
give them prayer hands. Say what's up, America. Half of you should know me, right? Other half I